Alright, let's get into the inspection. It's April 5th, it's about 53 degrees today, and it's a beautiful spring day in the Pacific Northwest. The bees are busy bringing in some pollen, flying around. A little backstory on this hive came from a swarm that moved into some empty boxes that I had left out, and they just moved right in last May, and I've had them for almost a year now, and they've done pretty well. They did really well last summer, building up really nicely. The queen laid really well. So yeah, I really like this hive. Alright, let's dive into the inspection. I started feeding them sugar syrup last week. They've already taken 2 whole quart jars of it, and I put a 3rd jar on yesterday. So let's see how much of that they took. Wow, they've taken about half. They've been really liking the syrup. Hello, bees. I inspected them last week, and their cluster looked a little on the small side coming out of winter. But they had brood of all stages, and they're storing a bunch of pollen. So let's see how the buildup is going. Hello, bees. Looks like they're increasing in population. Their cluster is a little bigger than last week. I'm gonna put my veil on. Nothing over here. Empty frame. A little bit of old brood on it from last year. Let's get into the action. It's a little heavy. Honey. Storing a little bit of syrup. Nice. They were looking a little low on stores coming out of winter, so I fed them some dry sugar. I put some dry sugar on top of the frames, but they weren't taking that as much. And then when I started feeding syrup, they started just sucking that down. I bet we're gonna see some brood on this frame. We got eggs, capped brood, larva. Nice. You got capped brood and larva. They're storing pollen and syrup around the brood. See, there's a nice pattern here. You got the brood all in here, and all around it they're storing pollen and syrup. There's a bunch of bees with pollen on them. Those small little bees that just hatched. Looking good. And on this side, there's eggs. Probably can't see them, but there's eggs in there. And they're storing syrup and pollen. Lots of capped brood, pollen, and there's the queen. There is the queen. Can you spot the queen? She's right there. That's Queen Stella. I named her Stella last year because she was doing so good. She was doing a stellar job. So I named her Queen Stella. Big dark queen. Looking good. And look at all that cap brood. They're building up just nicely. This side is filled with larvae. Larvae and eggs. That side's filled with larvae and eggs. Alright, go back in, queen. Storing syrup and pollen. And that's empty. This side's empty. And this side, they're storing syrup and pollen. I haven't needed any smoke yet. I haven't needed to light the smoker yet this year, so that's nice. This colony is really gentle bees too. Last summer I barely had to use any smoke. It's a heavy frame. It's got a good amount of honey on it. Still got stores from the winter. And these two frames look empty. So we got two empty frames here. Honey frame. Mostly empty. They're storing a little bit of syrup and pollen on it. Big fat brood frame here, and the queen is there. Some brood on this frame. There's eggs. A little bit of honey. And empty. So they're doing just fine. The population's going up. They're a little bit behind this year. But I've been hearing from a lot of beekeepers in my area that they're also behind from last year. Alright, that's it. Looking good. Still kind of like a football-sized cluster here, but they're gonna build up soon once all that brood hatches. Alright, all done. Alright, they're looking pretty good. They got all stages of brood in there, lots of cap brood. Once all those bees hatch, their population should start going up. So they're still a little bit small, but they'll build up pretty soon. Queen's busy, they're all busy in there. They're hauling in pollen. So yeah, they're looking pretty good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, press like, subscribe maybe. Look forward to more videos in the future. Take care.